Howdy, folks. Woody Walls from BeCoffee.com here. Back again for another Wayhomer review. Here's how it works for the uninitiated. I have just left the cinema, which is back over there. She'll show you. But what did you do?
I think I just shot a post.
How did you shoot a post?
I'm
You're not even armed.
I'm talented like that.
So I've just seen a film, which is over there with a post that she shot dead. And I'm going to tell you about that film on my way home, because it just saves time that way. And the film we're here today to talk about is Frozen. Okay, so Frozen synopsis. Basically, there is a young girl named Elsa who has the powers of Iceman from the X-Men movies. And unfortunately, this is a universe without Charles Xavier, and thus there's no one really to teach her how to use her talents. Although, spoiler, Nick Fury does show up at the end and recruit her. So basically, the problem is, I mean, if you've got ice powers and you don't know how to use them, I mean, yes, you never have to worry about your drinks being too warm, but also you can like cause problems. You can freeze people, things. It's bad. And so after an accident almost results in tragedy, the decision is made that there's going to be some changes, and they're going to have to lock down on this poor girl and try to get her to figure out how to control herself. And thus the stage is set for a long life of repression and non-icicles and such. The trouble is, though, she's got a younger sister who they were very close, and then after the accident, suddenly the older sister is very distant and very closed off. And the younger sister has no idea what's going on, and because such is the way of things, she is also having to deal with the isolation of their family, and that's no fun. You know, it might be fun if you had superpowers, but she doesn't. Except that she's, voiced by Kristen Bell, which is in itself a bit of a superpower. But, so the stage is set for the two of them to try to move on with their lives when it's time for the older sister to become queen of the land. So there you go. That is fine. Okay, so here's the thing. This is, I don't think anyone is surprised to find out that they've already announced, and we're several weeks into this thing showing, but it's been doing fairly well, and we're playing catch up. I don't think anyone's surprised to note that Disney has already announced that Frozen is heading to Broadway. Especially when I mean, first of all, it doesn't make any sense for them to do that, because they really should be turning Pete's Dragon into a stage musical.
Amen.
What are you going to do? But anyway, so it's one thing to hear that they're going to turn it into a Broadway musical. It's another thing to watch the film and realize, a bit annoyingly, that it's very obviously, whereas, say, Lion King was the sort of thing where you went, they're going to do what? Or Beauty and the Beast, where you say, they're going to do what? When you walk into Frozen, it's very obvious from like 2 minutes in, they totally designed this. This is less this felt like less a movie than a commercial for the upcoming Broadway musical. Because it is complete, the songs are completely set up, the animation is complete. You can sit there and distract yourself by realizing, oh, they've already figured out how they're going to do that special effect on stage. Oh, here's a dance number. I can totally see how they're going to block that out. And there's been many jokes before. The one that I remember is from the series Alf. They talk about the annoyance of, what? Okay. She's taking her coat off. It's not lurid, I promise. Can they even see me at this point? Okay, yeah. There we go. All right.
I see a nice shot of your nose.
Okay, wonderful. Oh God, that's horrible. I'm so sorry. This has suddenly become NC-17. Not because she was taking off her coat, because of my terrible nose. No, there is something about musicals that can be annoying, where they start, all of a sudden start singing when they could be talking. Sometimes it feels organic. Sometimes it feels like this has to be a musical because it has to be, and you just want to punch something. Now, admittedly, first of all, as Thespy pointed out, it starts off with something that feels like straight out of The Lion King, because they want to announce, hey, remember when we used to make really good movies? This is going to be one of those. So that's a bold statement. And bold that they apparently didn't get Lee Boehm to do it, because it certainly sounded like his stuff. But anyway, it becomes very clear that this is a musical of that sort of annoying kind of forced song musical. And like I said, you can get tied up in dealing with that and distracting yourself with figuring out how the sets are going to look, because they've obviously planned this out from the get-go. I mean, it used to be we were complaining about how they would, change clothes in a movie so they could have different toys. Now they're doing it so they can have a whole freaking musical, okay? Which is sort of amazing and annoying. However, here's what's even more annoying than that, is that they start off and you say, oh, I see what you're trying to do, you Disney people. You are trying to distract me from how annoying you're being by having clever lyrics and having the characters act all cute. And you're going to have them, be in all these various settings that you're going to strike from the musical because you can't change sets that quickly. You're trying to distract me from that. Oh, but I'm not going to be distracted because I'm annoyed. In fact, I'm annoyed because you're just forcing these songs into this musical. And then more annoyingly, it actually starts to win you over and you start to enjoy yourself because they've done so well at distracting you from how annoying they're being about turning this into a Broadway musical that it actually turns into a really good animated movie. That's incredibly annoying. I mean, it really is. So that's basically what we're dealing with here. Then, after you've been distracted from the fact that you're already figuring out what the cover of the Playbill is going to look like, they start taking the Disney tropes and turning them not necessarily on their head, but sort of on their side, and then pushing them down a slope. So they've actually, it's funny that, we've been saying that Pixar and Disney merged, and all of a sudden the Pixar movies got really worse and the Disney movies got really better. Well, part of who you can thank for this film is not even just Pixar, but the fact that you have people like DreamWorks doing things like How to Train Your Dragon, which the sort of stuff you saw in that film where you went, wow, am I watching an American animated film? That's the sort of thing you're seeing here. So, it sort of redeems itself by not really having anything to redeem itself for other than the upcoming marketing campaign for the inevitable Broadway musical. And somehow they pulled it off. Those bastards. I'm truly annoyed by that, because I was all ready to go, this is garbage, look at this. But part of the reason why is we were trying to figure out who did the music and stuff, and they got the people behind Book of Mormon and like Avenue Q to do it. So yeah, the songs are going to be cute and catchy and fun and such. And it's like there's an animated snowman. I mean, how corny is that? No, don't give him an endearing song. Don't make him all sweet and endearing. Oh, damn it! Now I'm really enjoying this. Oh God, I was all ready to be really just. And it wasn't, I went into it ready to enjoy it, and then got really annoyed, and then got annoyed that I was enjoying it again. How weird is that? My therapist and I are going to work through this for weeks. Thanks, Disney. But you have characters that aren't your normal Disney characters, not really. You have situations that aren't your normal Disney situations, not really. And the whole thing just works. And works better than it has any right to, frankly. But it does. And by the end of it, it's just, you realize that they've sort of tricked you into really having a good time. Which is so insidious, if Disney. You're so sinister with your making me have a good time and stuff. I sound like those people that hate Disney parks. You know those people that go, oh, Disney World, it's just all awful. It's so all commercialized and everything. And they go there and they have a freaking blast. That's how I feel. And you made me feel like that, Disney. I will never forgive you. Well, maybe not. But anyway, so now when that's the thing, it's got some really gorgeous moments in it. The story, while simple for the most part, has some excellent twists to it. The animation has its moments. The songs, despite your best efforts to hate them, worm their way into your brain and work. They even got Idina Menzel, who normally, her voice is so bright it makes me want to, torture bunnies. Somehow, I don't know if that's where all the CG budget went, but she sounded fine. So, yes, I actually really enjoyed it. And I'm a lot less annoyed that I'm letting on, but I mean, I really actually come out of there going, wow, I really enjoyed that. That was actually really intelligent and well executed. So, well done, you heartless bastards. So that's it. What I would say is, for seeing it, I would say if you haven't seen it, as always, it's worth seeing on the big screen because it's good Disney. They should be rewarded, not like they haven't been because they've been making money like crazy on this thing, and that's even before it opens on Broadway. And but as far as cup-wise goes, like I said, I was looking at this thing going, wow, this will be like, I don't know, this will be like a 2.5 or something. But by the end, I'm going, yeah, by the time you put all the twists in, the fact that they, made me like it, and basically, sorry for the use of the word, snowballed me into liking the thing, I'm going to have to go with 4 out of 5 cups. Because it was really well executed. And, I don't know. I'm sure they will be studying this as far as psychological warfare goes for some time to come. Because it was just that insidious. So yeah, there you go.
We're going to talk about the short.
Oh yes, and the short at the beginning was fun in that it not only started off as a vintage Mickey Mouse cartoon, but then went completely gonzo, while yet retaining a lot of the aspects of classic Disney cartoons, the utter surrealism of, the fluidity of the characters' bodies and things just flying off the screen and such, with a modern sensibility of it looking three-dimensional for the most part. And apparently they used Walt Disney's voice for Mickey. So I guess they were using all bits that he had recorded before, which made sense because there was one line in there where I went, that doesn't actually fit. But when you realize, oh, well, they're just pulling this from archival stuff to use the original Mickey Mouse voice, okay, I'm good with that. So, yeah, that was actually entertaining as well. It's something else that we can thank Pixar for, as they, unfortunately, as I sob inwardly, fade into obscurity, is that they brought back the animated short to Disney. How weird is that? The people who, started animated shorts, for the most part, have to be reschooled in how to do animated shorts. Weird. Anyway, so yes, if you have not seen it, please do see it, because it's actually fun. And if you start gnawing on your own intestines when you start hearing them burst into song, just hang in there, because it actually gets better. So there you go. Okay, well that's another Wayhomer in the can. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these things. And if you do, please do us a favor. Come by neatcoffee.com/support and throw a few pence into the tin so that we can do things like pay for the gas, which we use to get to the cinema. Because walking home from the cinema and filming me walking home because I have no gas, that would be not only even longer, but a lot less boring. And you wouldn't be watching these things waiting for me to get creamed by a cement truck. So, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the Wayhomer Reviews. Bye.
Did you say cement truck because there's an actual cement truck there?
No. Is that an actual cement truck?
I think, isn't that a cement truck?
No, that's a tanker truck.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm focusing on filming, you see.
Okay, good.
Dedicated to my art.
Yes, thank
Unless
you.
that was a rounded truck.
I said a rounded truck. I should have said a
That's
rounded truck.
We're going to get hit by a rounded truck.
That's right. Yeah, Nick Fury recruits her so that they can have somebody to control the Cask of Ancient Winters. 5 points if you got that one.